A guitar so nice, I bought it twice. The story and a review. Here we go. So this is a PRS CE24. So this has got the bolt on, got a flame maple cap all the way through, as you can see that. Mahogany body with a maple neck. 3 on a side tuners. These are the 85-15 pickups, and it's got kind of a Strat style bridge. The story. When I say so nice I bought it twice, I don't mean two of the same model. I mean this particular guitar, I bought it twice. So here's the story. So this was back before the pandemic. This was a while ago. I had a telly that there was something funky with the neck. It was constant. If you just looked at it, the neck was moving all around. Now, if I was smart, I would have just called up Warmoth and said, hey, send me a new telly neck. That was a Mexican-made Ventera series. And that's not a knock on the Mexican Fenders. They're great. That one had just a bad neck. Just had a bad neck. And then one of those tuners broke, so I had to replace the tuners in it. And I just, you ever have a guitar where at this point, it's just a tainted memory. it has bad mojo, and you just want to get rid of it. Guitar Center was having this thing where, we'll give you cash for your junk kind of deal. So it said, hey, I'm going to take this opportunity to get rid of the telly. So I did. Long story short, I saw this guitar chilling out there. And I'm like, ooh, can I play that? And so the salesperson brought it down to me, and she said, oh, person that brought this in, because it was used, the person that brought this in, buys and trades in all the time, and he says probably didn't get a lot of playing time, which it really felt like that. With it wasn't very worn in at all. It just wasn't played. Now I've played this a bunch, so it's a little different now. I played it and I'm like, oh, I need to take this guitar home. But I didn't have, of course, I only got $400 for the telly. This was, at the time, $1,600 used. I'll put the latest price here and maybe throw a link in. Either a Russo link or a Sweetwater link. So I had to put together, and I didn't have all the cash, so I had to put together a trade. And I traded in my Vela. Now, the Vela at the time, I kind of wanted it to be a PRS telly. Well, of course, now we have a PRS telly in the NF53, but the Vela certainly wasn't. And that's what I wanted it to be. Not the Vela's fault, my brain's fault. Well, looking back on it, I wished I'd found another way, because I really liked that. I should have kept that Vela. And anyway, so I traded in the Vela, traded in some pedals and some other stuff, and brought this home. And I played this a lot. I love this guitar and played it in a bunch. Fast forward to about a year ago, I was looking at custom shop tellies, full circle on the telly thing, and I found this custom shop telly. Full circle on the Relict tellies. And boy, I needed another $1,000 to make that deal happen. So with a deeply heavy heart, I traded this in on that custom shop telly. And it was very sad. But I got my custom shop telly, which I still have, by the way, and love. But after I traded it in, boy, I couldn't get this guitar out of my head. I just couldn't get it. I just missed it. I canceled the spot where I usually keep it, and it wasn't there, and it just ached my heart. So I went back to the store. This is 2 weeks later, and they had put it out for sale, and it was still hanging out there. And I went up to the person, and I'm like, I need my guitar back. We worked something out, and they didn't beat me up on it to get it back, but I ended up having to buy it a second time. And while that was dumb, and while that was dumb from a financial standpoint, it was a very smart decision from a guitar standpoint, because I'm so glad to have this guitar back and in my stable, in my guitar arsenal, so to speak. This is definitely a more modern-ish type of guitar compared to things like I have a Core 594. For example, very different guitar. This is definitely more modern, 24 frets. The neck is just, it's probably a little thinner than I would love, but boy, it plays really well. These 85-15 pickups split really well. And so with that, let's do some sound samples. So here is the neck in humbucker mode. These split, by the way. And they both split together. So you can either have humbucker mode or single coil mode. You can't have like one humbucker, one single coil. By the way, no pedals on. And you'll notice that this definitely has it's more articulate and it's definitely brighter than you would get on your 22 fret guitars. Obviously, because this is a 24 fret guitar, this pickup is actually moved inward a little bit, which just changes the tone just slightly, but I think in a really cool way. I mean, this gives you, it just, that kind of, especially like the solos, pops a little bit more. Now let's bring that into single coil mode. You get a really nice single coil mode, but it is kind of unique. And I really like it. You do get a volume drop, but again, you're not mixing it with a humbucker, so it doesn't really matter. So next, let's go to the bridge. This is the bridge in humbucker mode. Nice and bright and articulate. Let's try single coil. Kind of punchy and bright. All right, let's go to the middle. This is middle humbucker. It, oddly enough, does that kind of... It's the best humbucker guitar I've had that does that kind of, for that funky stuff in humbucker mode. Let's pop that into single coil mode. Obviously, between a well-crafted knot and locking tuners, this thing holds tune very well. I think a lot of people change these pickups out because they want them to sound like they want one extreme or the other. They either want kind of the Les Paul-y, vintagey type sound, or they want an ultra modern sound. And these are kind of maybe a little more to the modern side, but kind of in the middle. And I like that about them. I like that little different thing. And I have found gigging with this, with blues style gigs and even worship gigs, this has been great. Believe it or not, great like worship guitar. Like it just sounds very, very good. It cuts through really well. Cuts through in a dense mix. And that's what is so awesome about the sound of this guitar. And worth mentioning, these 8515s are the USA made 8515s that are in the Core Custom 24. Now let's set up some gain. I have the Prince of Tone in the overdrive mode. We're going to put it on the bridge. Let's go to the neck. Alright, now let me click it down to distortion and crank it and see what we get. Bridge pickup on the distortion on the Prince of Tone. And I got level going into the amp too. We'll boost the gain in the amp too, so we got a lot here. Now, the Prince of Tone is not going to get into the metal distortion kind of range, nor is the 2-Rock that I'm playing it through, 2-Rock Studio Signature. It's just not going to get to that levels of gain. Maybe I can run it through the Friedman and do like a short on set, but there's other reviews of metal guys playing metal on this guitar, so go check that out. I'm not, I'm more of a blues guy. I'm not really a metal guy, and but if you wanted a guitar that can really kind of do it all, this is the guitar. If you're a studio owner who's not a big guitar player, but you want to have an electric guitar around, this, I know people are going to say Strat or Telly. This is the guitar to have around. It's going to stay in tune. It's exquisitely built. Just every detail from PRS. It's just exquisitely built. This is a USA. It's a CE model, so it's not even the Core model. But again, I think that's an advantage because obviously if there's something wrong with the neck, you can replace the neck. Anyway, perfect studio guitar. Perfect all-around guitar, 24 frets, so you have two full octaves. Again, so nice, I bought it twice. So you can tell what I think of it. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, all the YouTube-y stuff. If you own a CE24, let me know what you think of it. And remember, it's always about the song. Peace.